compared to what we're getting from you.
No. I meant, where's the splatter coming from on this channel? I'm hearing it on this frequency. It's coming from somewhere else. Not you guys here, that's, on your frequency, but I'm just sitting here listening here on this frequency, and there's somebody from another frequency splattering on this frequency.
That's the guys on 43, and that happens all the time. And they don't usually bother us, but some nights conditions report, and they're going to cause problems. That's when you're a ham and you've got a lot of experience. You realize that on certain nights, when conditions are real good, that you're going to have splattering problems. But when your scope can clearly indicate that you got somebody who's talking into your bandwidth, that's a different issue. And until everybody learns how to operate their equipment properly and know what conditions are about, you're never going to avoid it. But when you're running 6 KCs and 4 KCs wide, you're going to have a problem. And that's what we're here to tell you, that we don't appreciate it. And you don't need to run 4 KCs wide. And if we're interfering, we'll do what we can to limit. But I can guarantee you, my passband is not in yours. I'm not crying, besides you're on our frequency. AI4 Delta Quebec for ID.
ACAAM. I'm just barely hearing you scratching up.
Well, that's like I said. These are guys that are crybabies. Whenever they get slapped or they can't take any kind of criticism, so they're not going to come down and bug us. And I tell you guys, it's a war you're going to lose. Wide sideband guys have been being beat up left and right by the FCC. I got the paperwork. I got the pictures of the spectrum. You want to go ahead and bleed and be a big show off? Go ahead. But I got news for you. I'm not running that wide, and I've got the equipment to prove it.
Yeah, you said you've got the best stuff that
money can buy.
What is that? What is the best?
Well, you figure it out. What is the best?
I don't know. I'm here to get an education. You sound like you know it all.
Well, you're the one down here bugging us, so, I'm not asking to teach anybody anything. But if you want to come down and be a prick about it, that's fine. Because we didn't ask you down here for the conversation. But you're obviously still beat up from the other night. And I just keep on telling you that you're the one that has no moral fibers. And ham radio to you is some hobby to get how wide you can get and get bassy noise. And you're not really interested in anything but being a pain in the ass on 75 meters. You don't make a lot of contact, but you go out and go and start a fight. Well, I'd recommend that you learn that there's other people in the world that have lots of equipment, and I got more money than God that I can throw at you. So don't come down here and cry to me about what you're pissing and moaning about, because I'm not really interested in it. And I can tell you right now, you want to play the game, go ahead, play it. I got all the time in the world to listen to your crap. But I'm not moving on the frequency. I've narrowed up my bandwidth, and I've even reduced my power. And if that ain't good enough for you, then I don't know what else to tell you other than to go get a radio.
Well, Phil, I think my radio's okay. I don't think there's anything wrong with my radio. I think it's just fine. I think that station here is quite adequate. And I don't think I have any problems with it.
Well, then you should really learn how to operate it.
Yeah, I appreciate you cutting back, and I think that'll help me out considerably. So that's exactly what I think.
Like I said, if you want to talk above us and you don't have a problem with cutting back your bandwidth, we'll get along fine. We don't have to say hi and goodbye to anybody. But when we start interfering with each other, then all you got to do is politely tell us that you've got a problem or it's worse than normal, and we'll try to make it better. But it's a two-way street.
I agree with you. That's great. I definitely agree with that. I'd like to say good evening to you.
No problem. KC 8 AM, AI4 Delta, Quebec. And like I said, I'm not a bad guy, but I don't have a lot of time to put up with the BS. I got off 11 meters back when I was 12 years old, and I hate like hell to see what's happening to the bands here. And when I see improper radio procedure and people just taking the attitude that they can do whatever they want because they're in charge of their own radio, it's not a very ham-friendly zone. And yeah, I'm real blunt to the point because I don't have a lot of patience with people that are stupid or ignorant about what they're supposed to have been trained in and know what they're doing. There's a courtesy that when you become a licensed ham that you were supposed to do. And this is the group that I grew up with. And I like to think that all hams and all people eventually will respect it. Like always giving your call sign. You know, we have a lot of people that get on the air and say contact, break. And to me, they're not hams. These are people that have gotten into a bandwidth that have no idea what they are. And that's why I won't acknowledge somebody that doesn't give a call sign. And if they don't give us the right one, we find out. So I'm a real straightforward guy, and I can be the best guy in the world. But when it comes to what I've seen happen to us, and I've seen what little empathy that you guys have up there for us, I don't have any resolution. I'll call a spade, and if it's a black mark, it's a black mark. But, you know, when I go up there and I complain, and all of a sudden the bandwidth all of a sudden changes, you know, who are you kidding? I mean, there's guys up there doing it. May not be you all the time, but I can tell you there's people up there that do it.
Well, I can only control one station. That's mine.
That's where you're wrong. If I had a friend and I knew who it was that was carrying on like that, I would put him on the money or he wouldn't be my friend anymore, because ham radio is a little bit more, it's a privilege that has been given to us. And if you know who's jacking around and being an ass on the air, I would certainly go out of my way to make sure he stopped it, or he lost his license, or he got written up. Because he isn't my friend, because he's not representing my hobby the way I want it to be.
Oh, well, we're exemplary in that department. We do our best to make sure everyone sounds good, and we have a lot of people that like to come by and get help with their radios. We enjoy that, and sometimes stop by and give us your expert advice. We'd welcome. Yeah, I'll get you later. 8 AM.
All right, KT8 AM. Yeah, 4 Delta, Quebec.
The whiskey Tango 2 o'clock.
I'm still here.
I'm still here.
I had to drink some water.
And don't get dehydrated.
Oh, for sure. Oh, I've been trying to get everything done before I go back in for surgery, so.
I would think so. But dehydration is something that's insidious. In other words, it happens, and then you get but you don't realize it's happening, unfortunately.
Yeah, but when you're going through, they pump you through.
Well, it's a one-way conversation, and I wasn't trying to be smart or anything, and called my radio, you know what, so thank you very much.
Every 10 minutes, and it hurts like hell to get up.
Well, there's another way they can do it, but you may not enjoy it.
I just tried to explain that maybe some of the issues I can hear myself not here, but wow. You was wound up already.
Second filter is at 3.0. My third filter for sideband is at 2.4. And at 2.4, he is still splattering through. You know, my filter is at 2.4. So, yeah, there's something.
And that's the place I need to go into if they have to replace the implant. sure why that was.
Anyways, this is, I'm on the Marathon AL 811 now. I took the advice and plugged in the 2 tubes, and voila, here we are. I'm,
Their bill for $88,000.
Yeah, it's an interesting part. Yeah, right. Good.
Yeah, it works. How about that? Well, yeah. So that was interesting conversation.
I can smell the dust cooking on inside. It's warming up.
Yeah, you must be a millionaire.
I had a lot of work done.
A rotatable dipole. That's the hot setup. No doubt about that. Man, that is a big antenna.
I don't think I'm doing anything because I'm 2.9 line and I'm cruising right along. So.
But mine is a little different.
It has a big signal, and the signal is so strong that that's why, the farther away, that disappears. Holy cow.